Welcome to Jam and Plan. This is your CEO day, which perhaps you've maybe been craving for a little while. This is your opportunity to really understand what is going on for you and for your business, where you're at, what's happening. And sometimes this is the moment that we resist a little bit because we can get caught up being busy, doing all the things, answering the emails. But I tell you what, if you can carve out this time, and it's just 4 hours, it's not even one of those seminars that you go to where you have to stay up until midnight hugging a stranger, you know the ones. This is just for you to spend time on your business rather than within your business. So this concept was birthed, and it felt like it was birthed into the world in June 2020. At a time where everything felt very uncertain. We were still in lockdown. So many of my clients and customers and community, their work suddenly felt very uncertain. Lots of people had children at home and they knew that they needed to take their business perhaps in another direction or take it more online. There were lots of changes happening at this point. Now, since I qualified as a coach in 2013, I have invested a lot in workshops, long courses, coaching relationships, and many of them have tended to be for a long period of time. But when I'm in that headspace of going, I need some answers, I need a plan, I need to make sense of all of this, I actually need quick clarity. Which is why I came up with this CEO day, essentially. I do these kind of days, VIP days in central London at a members club that I'm part of, and I love that. I love doing it face to face. But I also know that many of you watching this are juggling your business alongside many other things. So I wanted to make this content accessible, so when you have the time, when you have a window that you can use, you can sit down and you can find some answers, and then you can move into, okay, I know what I'm doing, let's make some moves and make this happen. So this is going to be perfect for you, actually wherever you are in the spectrum. So maybe you are starting out, maybe you are quite early to doing your own thing and launching your own gig, and you just need a bit of guidance, because believe me, in those early days, I did sit down many times at my computer and go, right, I need to build my business, and I didn't quite know what those steps were or what I needed to be thinking about. And then when I did start to think about things, I got so overwhelmed that I just didn't know which way to turn. Or equally, you may be thinking, right, I've got to move the needle now. I've got to shake things up. And so many of my clients get to this point when we meet, whether we're doing a one-on-one session or whether they're taking a course, where they need to kind of turn up the brightness of things, give things a bit of oomph, jazz things up a little bit. But in order to do that, I often think there needs to be a bit of a decluttering session where you really notice what's in, what's out, what's working, what you actually want, and making sure that everything is aligned and working towards that end goal. It might be time for you to take things back to basics. I know that it's so tempting to watch another thing or try another strategy, or somebody's using this technology over here, maybe I should do that, maybe I should have a podcast, maybe I should... all of the things, all of the shoulds, basically people pulling our attention and pulling us in all kinds of different directions. So as part of this process, I'm going to be helping you to go back to basics and really understand what your business, what your personal brand is all about, and making sure that, and where possible, things are kept clean and straightforward and easy to action and really tangible and engaging, rather than feeling like your head is spinning all of the time and you're just on a bad roller coaster at a fair. So this is going to be your opportunity to notice what is actually going on. And I'm never coming from that place of like, let's have a look at what's going on and really notice where you need to improve. Actually, sometimes it's about remembering like, oh, I used to love doing that, or my clients used to get so much when I used to do X, Y, and Z. And all of this comes with kindness of really recognizing the truth and going, do you know what, perhaps I haven't moved in the ways that I wanted to because there's been a global pandemic, or because I've been homeschooling, or other things have taken a priority at this time. So this process is always about kindness. It's about being gentle. It's about really starting to slowly uncover things so you're informed and you know where to go next. Okie doke, what is the content? So I've kept it really simple, and these 4 sessions work as a complete circle. Or if you're suddenly going, I really need to look at my money stuff, I'm going to go to session 2, you have this content forever. So you can go and revisit it as and when you like. And also you can just listen to it sometimes. I think there's something really powerful about doing something else. I know that I should technically be saying, make sure you're taking notes and taking action. But sometimes I've done that in the past, where I've had a course that I've purchased just on in the background while I'm cooking dinner or doing something else or on a walk. And sometimes I get that really lovely nugget that suddenly triggers a thought and takes me in a new, exciting direction. So session 1 is all about clarity and reflection. Where are you? What's going on? What's working? What's not? And really having that moment of refinement and really reflecting and noticing and making sure, as always, that you are connected with where you're going. I am not interested, as you may have noticed if you've ever listened to the podcast, I'm not interested in being busy and working all of the hours. In fact, if I can do things in a shorter amount of time, I absolutely will. I am looking for that work-life balance. I do not want to work till midnight, and I want to have a really nice time in my life. So this clarity and reflection stage is very, very important, and it builds our foundations together. The next session, it's about money. And I know that people will say, dream big, or do what you love, or if you find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And all of those things I believe in. However, I want you to be profitable. I want you to get to Friday night and go, that was a really good week, or that was a really good month, or I feel like I'm charging my worth at the moment, and I feel like there's a lovely bit of reciprocity between my clients and the value that I provide. So focusing on the money is a really important step, and often it's one that many of us, myself included, have resisted in the past, because it can be tricky to look at your numbers sometimes, or perhaps there's resistance around selling or putting yourself out there or charging, all of that stuff. Don't worry, you are going to be in safe hands here. It's very, very practical information. I'm not going to be talking about taxes or anything like that because I am not qualified to do so, but I am going to be helping you and supporting you to work through that pricing menu, and again, making sure what you're selling is aligned with the kind of money that you want to make, your life goals, etc. Session 3, be it, don't sell it. This is really about you stepping into that business owner, that brand owner, that personal brand, however you like to associate yourself. Who do you want to be? What does this look like? What is this next phase for you? And really looking at how you can bring your whole self to the table without feeling like you're going to get burnt out. There's a lot in this session as well about doing business your way. And so finding that way that you can do things so it still feels like you. So you actually do the things that you want to do. Because I know we can all write these big plans like, I am going to write 3 blogs per week. I am going to launch 2 videos. But if by the second week there's resistance, perhaps this is your opportunity to go back and go, is there a better way that I could do this? Is there a way that's going to be more suited to my needs, my circumstances, and could I really support my ideal client, customer in a way that they're going to truly get value from? And the 4th session is about visibility. It's about taking action. It's about really lifting that idea off the page and putting it out there. I often liken this session to the moment of the log flume where you've been going all the way up to the top, and then when you get to the top you can feel that wobble, you know that big bit is coming and you're thinking, oh my goodness, there's no going back now. But you actually have to go down the big dip. Because once you do go down that big dip, you build that momentum. Things start to become easy. Things are in flow because you've got that whoosh of excitement. You've done it. It's out there. So this is all about your energy and your marketing plan. And this is about going into some really lovely detail, making sure that you are showing up and you are doing business on your terms. Okay, you're gonna love this if, one, you need a plan. I've had that conversation so many times when clients have messaged me, they've inquired via my website and they go, I need a plan. I can't do this anymore. I need to know what I'm doing. Now, there's absolutely no pressure with this plan. I'm not going to be encouraging you to do a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year plan and know what you're doing for the rest of your life, because sometimes we just don't. I have 2 small children, a nearly 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and our life, I really feel, is ever changing at the moment whilst they're still little. So I work on a monthly or a quarterly or maybe a 6-month basis. So this is about finding this time frame, this plan that's going to work for you, because again, if it works for you, you're more likely to actually do the thing. Number 2, you actually need to carve out the time. And by paying for this experience, you're actually going to do the thing. Because you're probably at the stage where you're pulled in all kinds of different directions. Maybe you're not stopping for lunch, or you can't remember the last time that you did something for yourself because you're always busy here, there, and everywhere. So this is my invitation, this is my container, this is my space for you to carve out the time so you can get the answers that you need. Number 3, you are never short of ideas, which all feel exciting, but there's also a big dollop of fear in there, as in, oh my goodness, like I know I want to do this thing, but there's some resistance there. This process is going to, again, make it really practical, really understand what is going on so you can move forward. And we do some quite deep work in some of these sessions. And this is about coming up with information, data about yourself, so you can really care for yourself in a way that's going to be really nurturing and nourishing, but also you're actually going to do the thing as well. So you may have also been doing this for a while, or perhaps you've sacrificed a lot just to get to this stage, and you don't want your hard work to just disappear. You don't want it all to have just been a waste of time of like, oh, I tried that, but I couldn't get the answers. I am sure that you're so close that it's just a case, like you can almost see it on the other side of the door. That's how I like to see things. And sometimes you just need that one key that's going to unlock it for you, and then you can open it and go, oh, okay, I now know what to do next. Also, and finally, maybe you've been waiting for that perfect time or for the stars to align. So I'm here to say this is the perfect time. I know we want to say like, oh, I don't know if I've got the money right now, or maybe it isn't the right time, or I should do this in 6 months, or when the kids go back to school, all of the stuff. Give yourself this gift of really starting now. And as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be done perfectly. You can start to listen while you're doing the dishes or something else, and just start to let the ideas start to bubble and find themselves and reveal themselves. So why would you invest? Why would you actually do this process? Well, firstly, you'll stop being that wishy-washy person. I'm sure you're not most of the time, but I know certainly that I can get stuck sometimes, that I'm like, oh, I was going to do that, or I'm really hoping that that's going to happen. This is about being decisive and going, right, I'm going to dedicate some time to this. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to put my focus on this. So you stop being that wishy-washy person and we start to get some details in place. Secondly, I'm going to help you to get really specific. What are you actually working towards? And I know sometimes we can do vision boards, or we can go and do a workshop somewhere and we cut something out of a magazine. But what is your version of success? What are all those components? What does your pick and mix, your jigsaw actually look like? And do you have a plan to actually get you there? And if you don't, this is going to be perfect for you. I know the internet want to tell you something different, like just make a decision. And I've just said it myself, like just make the decision and it will be great. No, I tell you what, change can be really difficult. It can bring up all your stuff and you can feel that resistance. So being there and supporting you through this, and there is actually an option that you can add on to the course if you need some one-to-one support as well. But actually working with somebody, knowing somebody that has gone through these changes, that has made it work, that has been scared but really found a way regardless, even though there were a lot of ugly cries along the way. I hope that you'll know that you're in safe hands, and I'm with you every step of the way to really figure this out and really make a go of it. No more going round in circles. I've had that so many times where I just keep going round and round, and isn't there that phrase like it's a sign of madness doing the same thing and expecting a different result? But so many of us can do that in our business because we get busy, we get into the doing, and we don't actually have that reflection time where we sit back and go, oh, hang on a minute, why am I doing that again? Because that didn't work last time. So this is going to be a really lovely container, as I mentioned before, to really understand where you need to make moves. Almost like you were playing a board game and you're like, do you know what? I always start with that thing, or I always do that first. Maybe if I do this and I change it up here, I'm going to get a different result. The final point I want to make on this is your opportunity to close down all of the noise, notifications, distractions, stuff going on, the amount of washing that needs to happen in your house, as it always does in mine, to really turn off all of that noise and turn up the brightness of you, your instinct, your hopes, your dreams, why you're doing what you're doing, and really get into that, because that's a different headspace from I'm doing this, I'm on a client call, I've got to reply to that email. This is your time to really center yourself, to check in, to really bring the ideas to the surface and then notice them, and then come up with a way and really think about what you want to do with those ideas. So if that has sparked your interest and you've got questions for me, do book in a free 15-minute call, or if it's just a quick question, drop me an email, hello@nickyraby.com. It comes directly to me, so don't worry, it's not going to go through a filtered system where everybody in the office looks at your query. It's just between you and I, and that's part of our confidentiality agreement also. There are two options that you can choose, one where you complete this course in your own time, but also if you're looking for that additional support, there is a one-on-one option as well. So whatever you choose, please know that you're going to be in safe hands. I can't wait to see what you think, and if you are doing the one-on-one option, I can't wait to hear more about your business and where you're going and all that good stuff. But as I say, if you've got any hesitations or questions, or if you need a bit of support in making the decision and knowing if it's right for you or not, do drop me an email, fill out the form below, or if you're ready, you can go ahead and purchase. So I will see you on the inside. I hope you love it as much as I've loved creating it for you. I will see you soon. Lots of love.